Hello, everyone. This is the Meta-Two AfterShow on bodyslam.net. I am here with the amazing, fantastic, I hope I'm doing the right side, in Cat We Trust. And I'm Shay. You can see my name here, Shay. Sorry, that's me. We're here to talk about night one of spring break-in. What did you think about it?
It was good. I loved the open. The ladies did what they had to do. I was a little sad with like a certain outcome, and I have to deal with that sadness. Um, but otherwise, I thought this was a really good night one for this.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. It was a good show. I did enjoy myself. It was a little bit of everything, I feel like for everyone in some ways. So I think that's the best type of show when it's like they give you everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had and I just want to say hi to everyone in here. We whooped that Hello, Matthew. Yes, somebody was whooped. And it was not Trick, unfortunately, but Trick's Hey, Jeffrey, how are you? Trick. No, I know what you meant, Matthew. It's all right. Okay, so we had the first match, which was the triple threat. Well, actually, no, we had Ava talking to Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. I guess they're just still kind of getting everyone excited for the draft. Who do you think specifically, like, pick at least one person from Nick and Adam that they really would be looking at for the draft from NXT?
I'm now feeling like Ilja Dragunov is leaving. I said that a little bit earlier. After Gutner and a member leaving Imperium, I'm like, oh, and then this, I'm like, oh, he's leaving, and I'm not happy about that. But I do think that he's somebody, either way, absolutely fantastic wrestler. I've been with him since the UK days. He's fantastic, and so while we will be sad to not talk about Alternate King here on the Meta-Two AfterShow, he will grace the other stages. I do think he's somebody that it's definitely, and I do think Carmelo as well. Honestly, I do see him moving up to the main roster. I don't think there's anything else left for him to do right now in NXT anymore. So.
Yeah. And even with him, we didn't see him at all tonight. So that definitely is saying, yep, it's what an era, I'm a little bit like, like I'm always this way when one of my faves goes from NXT to the main roster. I'm like, But we did have the triple threat. For me, this was not match of the night. Like, I'm sorry, the girls were giving what they could, and that was everything. Lyra, she always just I don't even think it's underrated, but I feel like people don't give it enough hype. How good she actually is in the ring. Like, she's just so in tune, and I feel like she just has good chemistry with everyone. I haven't seen her really have bad chemistry with anyone. What is that about, Lyra? We had to talk about that. I feel like for most of this, it feels like the crowd was very Tatum heavy. Like, they were so for Tatum Paxley, which honestly, I'm really getting on that train because I feel like she's really been knocking out the character work. And then when you see matches like this, you see how much she's been studying the in-ring. It's all there at this point. Like, so I'm just like, I'm very on her. The Fisherman Brainbuster by Lyra. Miss Ma'am, you got to stop. You have to stop. But I am glad that Roxanne won at the end of this. I thought this was a great match. Like, they were just throwing everything they could out there. Like, the 450 from Tatum was fantastic. Like, she's really just like people talking, trying to say she ain't nothing. Watch this, honey. But what were your thoughts on how everything kind of like transpired with the match?
Oh no, this was definitely a highlight for me. I knew just Roxanne. We know what Roxanne can do. We know what Lyra can do. And while we've been getting, and I want to say, like more introduced to Tatum in this version of her, I thought it felt like she belonged. This was like, from her other matches before this one, she really felt like she belonged with Roxanne and Lyra. Like she was one of them, like from the very beginning, and she didn't kind of get thrown into this. And I was very, very, very happy about what she was doing. Like I thought this was definitely a fantastic way, to win. And even like as you mentioned, that 450 splash Tatum top, like that was it was so well done that I'm like, okay, maybe this is saying that Tatum is going to get some more pushing in regards to if this is how we're going to go with her loving the championship itself and not the champion, that this can really, be something. Like Lyra doing a double power bomb, which I thought was really done well. The DDT Russian leg sweep thing. It was so many things that were just so fantastic. I really thought this was a perfect way to really um open spring break in. And I do agree. I do think Roxanne is one of the people I think will be going up. But I am glad I was a little worried that if she does go up, they were going to have her lose. And this is like no shade to Lyra or Tatum. It's just, I didn't think she had a good title run the last time. I felt like it was a lot of nonsense with it. And so give the girlie, if she has, I would rather her leave champion and have them do some kind of switch rule or something, or do it where she like lets the belt go, but she didn't lose it. I feel like I'm okay with that instead of having her lose it after the nonsense it took to get her back there. But fantastic way to open the show. I was like, yes, girlies, and this is why. Letting the people know what you guys bring in NXT.
This cracked me up. I'm sorry. Whoop if die trick. Like that's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. No, but everything you said, I'm 100% co-signing. This was such a great opener. Like the girls killed it. Can we give a clap for the NXT women? Every week, just like Jesus. So we have a backstage segment, I believe, with Thea Hale, and she's like, "Oh, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful." After she spat in everybody's face for months, now I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you. Are you grateful? Oh, I'm glad you're grateful. But that's what she was saying, and then I think we also had something with Fallon Henley, like. I'm just so glad Jada Parker, she finally said what everybody been saying. In everybody's business but your own. Go get some business and stop bothering everybody else. Jada, you spoke real. What did you think about this and how everything kind of went about?
Me and Jada were clearly on the same page. I said this a few weeks ago that Fallon needed to get her business something like just make yourself busy with somebody else's business that's not like maybe your own business and not somebody else's business that you're busy with. It's just I'm glad she said it. I was like, yes, because we've been tired of her for like a year now. I feel like we've been on like, girl, stop. And so her interjecting again, I'm like, girl, why are you even here? Like why are you involved? How do you get involved in this? Like it's just I can't. As regards to the like girl, and I mean she's alright, but like she was in like great denial about what she was doing and her level of extra dramatics when she wanted to run behind JC, and now it's like, oh, you want to be grateful? You should be grateful for sis. Why do two girlies have to show you what it is for you to be grateful? You should be grateful already. But yeah, no, Jada, I was like, yes, I'm good. I'm good with her doing what she needs to say because I'm like, yes, girl. I've been saying this. We have been saying this about Fallon. Like, girl, please mind your business.
Literally. Cosign. If I was to pick a girl, I mean, obviously Roxanne. I think Roxanne's probably gonna go to Raw for some reason. I don't know why I feel this way. And if it was for SmackDown, a girl, Lyra. throwing it out there.
Yeah, maybe. Because I'm like, we got some girlies at NXT, but we can see who the girlies that are clearly the ones who's top tier, unless if they move Blair. And I say that just because Blair Davenport, they haven't, like, I feel like they never know what to do with her in NXT. That maybe if she goes up, off of NXT at least, that maybe they'll have something for her, hopefully. But I guess we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen with the girls, with this draft coming up.
We also had a little promo package for Tyson DuPont and Tyreek. I could not hear his last name. I'm gonna say that I could not hear it. I would say that much. I mean, they look like high energy. I like they seem very excited, and I mean, I'm interested. I'm intrigued, so I'm gonna give them a chance to see what they're saying and go from there. What did you think about them first impressions?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any really major thoughts, but I'm interested to see what they're gonna bring. I remember how to spell his last name, but I can't remember how to pronounce it, and I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to be that person butchering somebody's last name. But no, I'm interested to see what they're gonna bring. I thought it was a nice little intro to them, and so we'll see. Hopefully, we've been pretty cool with some of the tag teams, I feel, on NXT to an extent. And I guess they're gonna replace, like, you got the Creeds are gone now. And it looks like they're going to replace, they're going to be now with Chad Gable. And so maybe get more tag teams, and let's see what's going to happen, because I felt like that was one thing NXT did have, was pretty solid tag teams for the ones that were there before, like even with Pretty Deadly before they moved up. And I was like, no, they were fun when they were in NXT. So maybe we'll get some more tag teams, and we can get some new faces outside of the ones we've been seeing in the last few months. But I'm excited.
Agreed. Yeah, it was nice seeing the Creeds as well come in and show their support to Trick Williams, the wrong side. But I will forgive it right now. I need them to turn at this point. I need them to turn heel, because they was giving a little cheese. They was giving give a little cheese with it. I don't know, but I did like Brutus doing the Booker T ad libs. That was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
He did it well. I'll give him that.
He did. Next we have the Family versus No Quarter Catch Crew, NQCC. I like saying it like that too. This was like, I don't know. I can't really say anyone really had control throughout. Like, no specific side was like in control for the full match. It was very back and forth. Luca Crucifino is really starting to he's starting to really grow on me, because he just seems like, he's dressed all proper with the lawyer stuff, and then boom, he's like a pit bull in the ring. I'm like, you know what? I can get down with this. But I kind of feel bad for NQCC, because I really, really, really feel like they are taking a lot of hits. Like, they it's bad right now. They're under fire, and they can't even get a win. Oh, come on. What are they playing with Charlie? Why are they playing with Charlie Dempsey? This match, like, I enjoyed it. I definitely, if I had to pick an MVP of this match, I would say probably Tony. Tony was, he was like, I don't know if that match that he had with Dragunov got him. Now he coming with that energy, because he really was coming with that energy, and he has one of the best spine busters in the business. I love his spine buster. It's so impactful. But yeah, the Family wins. Tony pins Charlie, and they made sure to point that out, because he's definitely coming for that. You know what he coming for, the Heritage Cup. What did you think about this match?
No, I thought it was good. I agree. Luca, I'm like, okay, surprised me. Like, it's nice to kind of see a person where you're like, oh, you like someone who's gonna be mad annoying, but then you can pretty much see it happening. In regards to, like, okay, all right, I'm seeing the vibes. But I can give Tony his credit. While I cared nothing about when he was talking about all the nonsense with Dragunov, because how dare he be that disrespectful. But outside of that, in this, no, he was definitely doing his thing. I'm like, you know what? I can't even talk shit about this. So you're doing what needs to be done. I can't even complain. I can't complain if you do what needs. I can't complain here. Like in this, I don't like. I like Charlie Dempsey to be fair, but I don't know what's going on with them of why they're not catching a break. They have really been on the shitty end of the stick in the last few weeks. They really have been, and so I don't know why. And I do think Charlie can wrestle, but I think he needs either better mic work or they need somebody who can do it for them. Um, but no, I was okay with Tony with what he was doing. I thought he really was definitely the MVP in this matchup. And I guess after losing, I do. I guess I liked it to an extent that even though after he lost to Dragunov after all that smack talking as he should, but he basically just keeps just still rolling. He's not letting it take him down. Like he's not letting it bring him down. He's not letting that loss bring him down. And he's still like they're clearly still going. And so I'm like, all right, I can respect that even though you got your butt kicked by the tournament king that he is, you're still doing what needs to be done. It's kind of like when you play a game with somebody and you know you're gonna talk shit even if you lost, you're gonna talk some shit anyway. I feel like that's where he's on it. So I'm with it. I thought it was a good match otherwise.
Definitely agree. I mean, I feel like losing to Dragunov is like, is it even like it's like it's understandable. It's not even like I'm judging you. It's like I get it. You know, I can't beat him either. So they have Baron Corbin backstage, and I really like how they have been like, I feel like doing a lot of different things with the camera work. Sometimes it looks like it's an episode of The Office, so like sometimes not. In this specific one, it kind of was giving The Office feels, which I liked. Lexis King made a to-go basket for Baron Corbin. He's so thoughtful. Like, what a thoughtful man. And Baron's like not really feeling it. He's not really open to it. So I feel like Lexis is like, I want to team up with you because you're big. I get what you're doing, Lexis. You're not low. Like you want a bodyguard. You want to get a friend who you know is mad big and beats people up. I know what you wanted to do. That's not what happened, but I know what you were trying to do, and I respect it. What did you think about this? And would you be open to anything in terms of like a team up with these two if that was to go the route?
See, it's like I was okay with the segment. Like I feel like they still don't really know what to do with Lexus King. But I feel like he is in one story and then he's in the next one, and there's no real like meat and potatoes as the saying goes. I do think that they need to don't put that negativity in the air. You know that's very negative. We don't need that on the night. Like don't do that. That's like gonna make me sad. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't know what to do with Lexus, which is why he keeps kind of going in and out of these different feuds. I feel like we don't really set him in one. Like the longest one was that whole thing with Trick and Carmelo. And that really wasn't a feud because Carmelo was responsible technically, so it wasn't even like a real feud because Carmelo was the one responsible for it. And so it's like he's there, but I'm okay with it. I don't know if that means that they team them up though. It's like well, Baron, can you not do any? Are you just boring by yourself that they're going to keep putting you with people? Are they going to leave you in NXT and just move on, Braun? You know, like really officially keep him, you know, where he's at? Is that what we're doing? And so, you know, I guess we'll see. But as far as his his beard, I mean, I can definitely see how some people don't think it's like there is definitely some lineup issues that I'm like, all right, it looks like this video I saw with the person who sprayed paint his beard on, and then they showed them trying to line up the spray paint, and I was like, oh, and that's all I needed to see, and I had to turn off my laptop for like an hour after that because I was just like, we lined this up like spray, like so I can see what you guys mean about that.
I'm crying. I'm sorry, I was just laughing at that. I was trying to read this. Can't pretty Corbin King. Corbin King. But yeah, so we now have Jada Parker, Miss Parker herself, versus Fallon No Business Henley. Okay. Honestly, Jada kind of had the upper hand for most of this, which I was very happy with because I really thought it was gonna be Fallon goes out there. Technically, experience-wise, Fallon is the more well off in ring, so if she won, it would make sense. Did I want that to happen? No, because I really do like Jada Parker. I just love her attitude, her vibe, and her finisher. Because you know what? If you got it, hit somebody with it. I don't, so I can't hit nobody with it, but she do. So hit somebody with it. I'll take it. I love how she just, her little pony came off. She said it don't matter. If you look when she was saying to the camera, she said I don't need it. And you are absolutely right, sister. You don't need it. You still a baddie. That ponytail don't need you. Need the ponytail. The ponytail need you. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm getting so hyped up about this ponytail, but it's just makes sense. But yeah, I did like the match though, like for what it was. I feel like if given more time, it definitely could have been something. I think that they do have cute chemistry. I wouldn't say great, but it's cute. Like there's something there. I see it. But Jada did end up winning, as she should. And what were your thoughts on the match?
No, I thought it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I was actually really glad with because like listen, like my thing with Fallon is just like girl, like you can't be the person who's always like she's like Natty, but Natty had a reason to be Natty. Like when she was on Total Divas and she felt like she was always in business in somebody's business. But it's like you expect her to look a little bit older than the rest of them. You're like semi mom, semi like, and those kind of things make you a bit nosy sometimes. Fine, but like Fallon is that, and there's no need to be that. You're not. It's like you're the girl in the locker room that you're like, oh, and it's just oh, and that's the vibes. And so Jada ponytail, I was like, no. To me, to be fair, if this was me, I would probably be like, oh no. And now the match is done for me because like we can't. The show will not go on if this was me. I can't be having me look crazy like that. But the fact that she was like, she don't need it, I'm like, okay, you a lot more confident than I would be. I would be very sad. I'm like, oh no, like, they like can't let me, But I like that she was perfectly fine with like, no, I don't need it. I'm gonna do what I need to do, and she definitely did stand. I love a good standing on business moment. I love a good stand on business, and she definitely did. And I was like, all right, okay, and like this is not necessarily to like knock anything. I do think this is just one of those like, okay, we can. I do think she does need a little bit more work. But so to be fair, if I was wrestling, my hair would probably be pinned up or something. I don't really do wigs unless I'm cosplaying. And extensions is not my vibe. But if I had to wrestle, I'm like, listen, you have to have me looking like Shayna Baszler. Like, let's just read this back or something because you got one time pull my hair. Like Bianca's better. Like every time people pull Bianca hair, I'll be ready to fight for her. Like so, no, we can't have that happen. We're gonna be like, go stop the match right now, referee. You stop it right now because clearly we're not on the same page. Did we discuss the hair pulling? Like that's gonna be me. And then I'm gonna get fined or something or whatever they do now for wrestling.
I'm crying. No, but honestly, you're right. Jeffrey, say Jeffrey, geez, between the two of you, George, what I will say is I don't disagree with you about Jada needing a little bit more work in the ring. I 100% agree with that. But I do see like the potential there. I think she has like 75% of what she needs to be perfect. And once she kind of, gets that in-ring completely right, she's perfect. And I think she's still finding herself and finding out what moves are for her and how she really wants to come across in the ring, because I think she spent so much time getting that character, getting that mic work together. So I think it'll come in time. I really do. We now have the NXT Underground contract signing with Lola Vice and Natalia, accompanied by Carmen Petrovic. I love her name because it just sounds so quick. Like you have to say it really fast or you'll miss it. Natalia is one of the funniest people in WWE, not even just in NXT, in WWE. The walking to the camera in backstage, and this is her. And she's looking dead in the camera. She's like this. I'm like, Natalia, ma'am, no one has ever served like this. So thank you for setting a precedence. Now everyone else has to do this moving forward, including the men. It's not just for the women, including the men. So Trick, Next week, I need to see your best Zoolander, or I'm gonna be very disappointed. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this because I feel like Lola has been getting better and better on the mic. I think Natalya was definitely giving it to her. She kind of gave a little sneak preview on Twitter when she had to school her, but she was trying to make it seem like Natalya ain't got time in the game. Natalya got nothing but time in the game. Don't ever come for her time. Um, I'm really like intrigued by this. I'm excited about this match. Like every week, I feel like they're really doing a good job of like getting us excited. And then seeing, my name twin being in the corner of Lola, I said, "Oh, Natalya, girl, it's over. She got the heavy hitter on her side. It's over, girl. Just let it go." I was saying that until Carmen Petrovic just caught this really good kick right on Shayna and put her right out. And so I'm like, what's going on, Shayna? Get up. Name twin, get up. Because why would you let her do that? I don't know. Natalya and Carmen, they have a good dynamic going because they really cleared the ring. They cleared the house. I still do think Lola's probably going to take it though next week. But what were your thoughts on this whole segment though?
Yeah, no, I see. This is why I kept really rocking with Lola because, like, I didn't appreciate her acting like Natty. Like, I was like, don't do that. See, clearly, you were like the person, like the content creator who don't know shit and come in feeling themselves in wrong, and that was the vibes. And I was like, so we gonna act like Natty just wasn't she didn't be locker room lead all this time for nothing. Like girl was doing what needed to be done. So, I was good with her serving. I definitely was good with her kind of putting Lola slightly in her place. Do I think Lola's a tad a better on mic? Maybe, but I'm still not a fan of her. She has to really change my mind, change my mind. Like when people have me have to defend somebody else, that's bad. I don't like to defend people I don't like. And so that's kind of where I'm at with Lola. Like she just need to get it together. I'm not even like if anybody even known me from like this is like 2020, 2021 days of me doing the content for shows. Y'all know how much this was about Shayna Baszler, but like I was like, I like Shayna. How dare you trade with Lola? Like, why didn't you offer Natty? Why didn't you offer to help Natty? You actually work with Natty in the main roster, and you didn't think to help her. Why do Carmen gotta help her? Carmen should be helping Lola if anything. Like to have Shayna doing it, like girl, you could have offered your services to Natty. Stop playing games with me, like and so I'm just saying, I hope it. I mean, I wouldn't want it mind Natty winning just because sometimes I feel like Natty's always there to give people their wins, and she's just there sometimes. And like I know why she's okay with being like the reliable person in the women's locker room, and I get that, but it's also like, all right, but every time you're basically putting over everybody all the time, and while I get that's put over some young people, it's also like, but every time for Nettie, goddamn. And so I wouldn't mind seeing her win, but I do think Lola's winning it just off principle. They're gonna have her. They're gonna push this whole Lola thing until they can't push no more. And so unfortunately, even with shaking her hips as it was said in the comments. I think she does need some more work in my opinion. And there's something I don't know what it is, but I can't yet. And maybe she changed her mind, but I don't see it yet. But I am still either way kind of excited to see how this is going to play out next week. If she's going to actually take any training from Sheena. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they even give us a little bit of scoops leading up to it next week, like just maybe a tad bit of like some let me see what you guys working on. Just a little bit, not enough to show what they're gonna do, but like something, a segment. I wouldn't even mind if they did that on both ends to see them like learning the ropes for this. But it's all right.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely, yeah, I co-sign. Yeah, Jeffrey, Lola has grown on me because honestly, I wasn't really sold just because I feel like, and even still now, I feel like her mic work isn't all the way there for me personally. Like sometimes it just sounds like forced. Sometimes, not all the time. There's certain little bright spots where it doesn't sound forced, but a lot of time I do find it sounding very forced when she's talking. Like, once she fixed that up, like I like her because she's just funny. Like when she did that thing to Natalia, like just shaking her hips while Natalia and Carmen just lay on the floor. Like that's hilarious to me for some reason. Like it's very hilarious. So she just needs to get the mic work all together, the in-ring all together, because I still feel like she's very strong with the striking, but when it comes to like the grappling, it's still a little bit iffy for me. But I'm jumping on board the train because I do see the potential. So just prove me right, girl, or prove me wrong. I don't know. Next we have Ridge Holland, Mr. I Hear Voices now. Okay. Like he's like, leave me alone, Sean. Leave me alone. I just want to be left alone because I'm angry and you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Like, get out of here, girl. I'm not trying to hear all this. I really am not. Actually, Sean, keep bothering him. Keep it up for us. What did you think about this little small segment between those two?
I might just need Rich to go somewhere, and like I don't know where, and I don't really want to say like fired or anything because not that wouldn't be appropriate with like people who got let go, but like hey, I don't care. It's one of those like I think somebody asked about Ron Wagner about how we feel about it, and while I don't necessarily ever want the person to have to lose their job because I mean I'm not a wrestler, but I'm sure it's hard. Don't get me started. Um, I was never happy to see him on my TV, and so this is what I'm feeling about Rich. It's like I don't care. Like, every time he's taking up TV time, I'm like, we don't. Who asks for this segment? Like, Who cares about what Rich is going through? Who cares about anything about him? And that's where I'm at. This is where I'm at right now. It's like, okay, Rich, if you're hearing voices, talk to Randy because he knows about hearing voices in his head too. So you go talk to my guy Randy. He knows. He knows what it is. Um, but I don't care. I don't care at all. I was like, Jesus, Rich, like we didn't need TV time wasted. This could have been an Instagram segment that I didn't see. Like it could have been a segment. I'm like, oh, it's Rich, and I could have just scrolled on past. I was forced to see it, but here we are.
Thank you. We love your unfiltered comments. We now have Blair Davenport versus Sol Ruka in a beach brawl. And I didn't even pay attention that it was a beach brawl because at first I was looking like, why is she bringing her surfboard to the PC? I was so confused when she was looking at. I was like, girl, ain't no water in there. I was so confused. This was fun. Like this was a fun match. Like Sol Ruka is really that girl. She really gets in the field. Like when she did it was like a reverse. She turned Blair around and hit her with a power bomb. I said, draft Roxanne tonight and give the title to Sol Ruka. That's how I felt when she was doing all that. And then the freaking Soul Snatcher on the surfboard. I said, "Oh, girl, you trying to get in my top 5? You're close. You're very close." This was just a fun match. I feel like they do have really good chemistry, and I felt like Soul was definitely keeping up with Blair Davenport because we know what Blair can do. We know how she gives it up. So her standing toe to toe and keeping up with her, that's all I need to know. That's all I need to see. We clearly knew that, it was either going to be Soul or Nikita who was going to go over in the end to end the parking lot prowler storyline that has been going on for 700 years. It's finally done. Now we have the locker room. It's NXT is the greatest place ever. But yeah, no, this is a really fun match. It was great. I loved the finish. I loved how I don't think Blair looked completely, hoed out. She didn't look like she just was like easy to get over. So I'll take that, but I don't want to see Blair losing. Like, I hate it. But Soul is she's the truth. You can't even really deny her. She's undeniable at this point. I do agree with you. I think you said earlier that Blair might be drafted. I do see that where it's good because it's like at this point, what else is there for her to do? Because it's like the half and half wish wash. Who knows? But what were your thoughts?
Oh, this was such a fun match. Like I think we've always said Blair is a fantastic wrestler. I do wish they would have not did the stop and start and stop with her so much because I feel like they'll start something with her and then they'll stop it. Like so, she won the thing a few months ago, and it's like okay, and then there was nothing came from that, and so I definitely wish they didn't do that so much. With that being said, this was absolutely fantastic. I really thought this was just so fun. To be fair, I totally also ignored that it was a beach thing. I was like, I mean, I guess it's spring break, surfing, do you? But I definitely forgot that that's what it was. I thought there were so many things that was top tier. I think Blair sending Soul to the surfboard was pretty solid. Her Soul Roker doing the Soul Snatcher, top tier. But for Blair to kind of counteract that with like the German suplex was also really good. And then with Soul doing her handstand DDT, and then she was able to get caught by Blair there too. I just thought it was just so many fun moments, but I also think that I was kind of over the storyline as far as like, all right, she hurt all these people because NXT Anonymous wasn't being doing a solid and kind of preventing all of these things from happening. Fine, but I was okay with the outcome with this. Like, I feel like Soul Roka came back and it's like you couldn't even tell she was gone to an extent. Like we missed her, but I don't even see the rust. like where's the ring rust or something? I don't really even see that with Soul Roka. She was gone for a little bit. I don't even see it at all. It's just she's so impressive. I love her athleticism. I feel like with a little bit more time, I can definitely see her on main roster. And you have somebody like a Naomi who like is pretty athletic in my opinion, as far as how she moves around the ring. Like I feel like that'll be such an awesome match. And so I'm with it. I thought it was really fun. I do think the right person won, and I do, as you we mentioned again, I do think Blair's probably leaving. I don't know what else you could do with her. Like you finished up the storylines of her being a person attacking, even though NXT Anonymous knew and was doing absolutely nothing to save the girls. We knew it was her. It's done. There's no point of bringing back whenever the hell Nikita was supposed to come back because she's gone again. So it's like there's no need to try to rehash that later on. Just send her up to the main roster and hope that you guys let her thrive the way she's supposed to, and none of that weird stopping and starting. Or unfortunately, what I felt happened with Cameron when he went up to the main roster was I felt like they didn't really utilize him properly, and so that's unfortunate. And so get her up there, but use her well. You don't want to get up there and just stay just kind of sitting in wings. But otherwise, this was a super super fun match. Definitely one of my favorites of the night.
I agree. I think they took a storyline that kind of was at the point where everyone was like, this is dragged on long enough. They were over it, ready for it to be done. And they produced a really fun match to close it out. Like, you got to give it to them for that, really. So now we have Trick Williams backstage because they are laying it on thick. They said, this is our good guy. This is our great baby face. This is a babylicious right here. He's on the phone with his mom who is sick, and he's telling her she needs to fight the same way he's gonna fight. I thought that was a really cute, like it's a beautiful add-on to things, like because he's supposed to be their guy. What were your thoughts on that? I thought that was cute. And then also Johnny Gargano coming about pressure makes diamonds. It was a lot. Like I feel like Johnny is like if you think of NXT, like their biggest baby face. It's for me between probably Johnny Gargano and Sami Zayn. So it was either one of them was going to come and give him the pep talk because he's supposed to be the new taking it on, like the new big baby face person in NXT.
Yeah, no, I thought it was that was a nice little layer to it, and that also then made me realize I'm like, oh, this is not going to be an outcome I want because I'm doing too much. Like telling Johnny Gargano, the person who's always been in these matches where it always was like, you think it's over, and then Johnny's like, it's not over, and it just keeps going on and on and on. And so to have him, I'm like, oh, he's winning. Like again, and like I know people like Trick, and I stand by what I'm saying before anybody get all crazy about what I'm saying now, since people can't deal with people's wrestling opinions. But I do think Carmelo is the better of the two, and so I know everybody's on a kick with Trick Williams, and that's fine. I mean, to be fair, I'll give it a month before the fans are complaining because they always complain about something. But I thought it was nice. And like I said, Johnny, it was just like this is the guy who's always like trying to keep going and not give up kind of vibes in NXT. He was always that person, and so I feel like I feel like it was a cute segment in regards, but it also was like, God damn it, Ilya, he's losing. But yeah, but otherwise it's cute.
Yes, and he set him up for failure. That was the last person that should be given any pep talks. Just saying. We now have.
No, I haven't gotten over this either because I was not there's not a soul. Not having me looking crazy in front of a family. That's wild. Yeah. He should have given himself a pep talk when that first happened. He should have gave himself a pep talk like let's not let this happen to me again. Didn't it happen like twice too? 2 times is wild behavior. Like you can't be getting beat up 2 times in front of the family. Like that's wild.
Like it's so sick. Oh my gosh. We have Baron Corbin versus Lexis King. This was a really short match. Like I don't really even. I think the entrances. Pray for me. I think the entrances were longer than the match itself. Like it was just basically Baron kind of having the control for the most part, and then Lexis just with his sneaky ways getting the win. Like it was really not much about it. There was barely any meat or potatoes in here. It was just broccoli on the table, broccoli on the plate. So it's pretty straightforward. I'm kind of glad because obviously I want Lexis to win. I'm a big Lexis fan. And he needs to get momentum because he's been playing the back. He's been playing the back for a little while now. And I need we need a shift right now. Baron, I don't even know what's going on with you. What's next? Because you lost your dog. You're just a wolf. It's just the wolf part. You don't got the dog anymore. So what we do? What were your thoughts on this match, though?
To that comment about him just the wolf, he was supposed to be the lone wolf, right? So I guess he's going back to the lone part. But I don't know. It was weird because you had this guy going from winning all these matches with Braun, like making himself pretty dominant enough to losing to Lexis King, who has had no serious storyline. It was kind of weird. And then because Baron wouldn't decide if he wouldn't decide if he was, I guess, to reveal if he's leaving or not. But I just feel like I think Baron only came down there to help a little bit some of the guys a little bit. I feel like that was the reason. Honestly, to put a little bit under some of the guys. So I mean, if you're gonna leave him there to do it again, maybe, but I don't think you need to. But does he go back to the main roster and then he does what he was doing before, which is boring me? So who knows? But yeah, I definitely agree. I think the interest was a little bit longer. And him doing like Lexus doing his move to win, like, and that way, I'm like, yeah, that's what you expect from him. But could we get more? Please, Sean, can you give me more than him being sneaky to win? I feel like he has to have more to the character, even with heels who are sneaky. Like, there's nothing else to this guy's character. Can we please get that for the love of God? But but yeah, otherwise, I mean, it was alright. I guess I think it was just here, kill some time a little bit. Just tired. Not bad though.
I think Lexus is definitely one of those people that he needs like a big bouncer type, guy with him. I think that his character would fit for that. I think that would definitely change things. I go in between if he should have like, yeah, no, definitely that. So if we could get him a big dude that ain't got nothing going on right now, come put him on, take him over to Death Row, put him with Lexus. I think that would be a really great idea. So now we are at the main event. Sick to my stomach right now. We have Ilja Dragunov versus Trick Williams. He done got 27 pep talks throughout the night. Dragunov got some pep talks, but it seemed like they wasn't really messing with him like that. I'm just saying. This, I feel a little bit like I might say this is better than their first encounter, personally, for me. Like, they were going hard. And I also loved Trick kind of pulling a Uno reverse and using some of Dragunov's moves on him. But Dragunov said, "I'm not going down without a fight." He was a Trick was getting whooped on for half of that match. It was chef's kiss. That's what it was. It was chef's kiss. This definitely was probably, yeah, I definitely like this more than the last one. And I was hoping like I don't know, the deviousness in me was hoping maybe we have an upset. I don't know, you guys, like, you seen how I acted on WrestleMania night 2, so please. I like chaos. But for the most part, no, I really, really enjoyed this match, and I think Trick really rose to the occasion. Like, for me, this is probably my favorite match from him today. This. So definitely gave it. Trick Williams wins, obviously. How do you feel about this? Now I need to hear you, because I know you about to really let the chopper sing, so I'm gonna just let you have it.
Oh, geez, you guys let the Liv Morgan go. Becky won. Let it go. Becky won, as she should. She came back on grind time. Like, imagine you on vacation. You're like, I got it, and handle it. With that being said, I'm gonna have to agree here. I'm not even like, I'm not even like a necessarily hater of Damian Priest, but I feel like he put his negative energy on Dragunov, and my Tournament King did not prevail the way he was supposed to. And like, I get that you guys all like Trick Williams, and it's like, yay, whoop that Trick, and that's fine and well. That's fine and dandy for Instagram or something. Whoop it on Instagram, whatever. But for greatness, that is Dragunov. And so while I think I do agree that this was definitely the better of the two matches. Um, I think he really did his thing in this. It definitely was not a surprise. I felt like we were saying, we were hoping in our selfish little hearts that Dragunov would have beat him again as he deserved, because we were hoping. But something told us I felt like he was gonna win, and I felt like, and then again, confirmation with the whole thing with Imperium. I was like, oh, they definitely bring him in now. Like, no. But yes, I think there were some moments that were pretty solid. That I'm like, okay, all right, I like it. I do like that they did, like the H bomb and the torpedo Moscow. Basically, it was just like, that as regards to the doing his moves. But I felt like this was more of a, not necessarily a grudge kind of match, like the matches where it's like there's a lot of animosity. I felt like this was more of a like match that there was some respect had. With that being said, while I know the fans are happy that Trick won, Katrina is not happy. Not happy at all. Do not put that negativity in the air, Jeffrey. Let's stop. No, we do not. He needs to keep it on as long. Like, no, let's not stop that negativity. I'm already sad, and you're making it sadder. Okay, but no, I was not happy. Him hugging Trick, and I was like, oh, is this the end? Like, who else am I supposed to stand this hard on NXT? Who? There's no one for me to stand this hard. No one. And so now I'm like, oh, my Tournament King is probably not going to wear turnips anymore. He's going to give him up there with Imperium, and he's not going to dress the same. And I'm going to be devastated. Like, if he shaves his beard, I'm going to have to fight Gunther. We're going to have to fight, because there's a reason. He got to get clean shaven. Like, don't do this. And so, like, I was devastated. I have to grieve. Okay, like, there's just too much grief for me in a very short span. Of April, I had lost my Tribal Chief, and now I'm losing my Tournament King. It's not fair. It's not fair. This is the life that depression makes. That's what's happening here. But good for Trick. I hopefully the audience, NXT crowd will not negativity, just negativity. I hope the crowd doesn't turn on Trick, because I just can't take the NXT crowd seriously. I can't take wrestling crowds just seriously, because I'm like, y'all was cheering for, y'all wanted Roman back. Now you want Roman back? Where was this love when he was there every week? Well, not every week. I can't relate that. Let me not lie. He was definitely there every week, but when he was there, talking about acknowledge him, y'all was not acknowledging. And so I'm hoping the NXT audience will give Trick his time and not complain. Not complain in like 2 weeks. With that being said, I do think Ilja is leaving us, and I cannot stand my turn at King on Tuesdays ever again, and it makes me very sad. So good for him for being a good sport. Me, I would have just flipped the belt. Boo. To the floor. I would have did what Charlotte and Becky did before when they just kind of like tossed it. That would have been me. Yeah. I thought it was a good way to end night one. I was okay with it, but I was also just devastated. You know, like you guys know how I feel about my turn at Kings. It is turtleneck time every time. And now I just feel like Tuesdays is going to be incomplete without my turn at King. Like, you know, I'll grieve. I'm gonna give I mean, I'd make it like a video montage of greatness before he leaves. Like, listen here, Dragunov.
Y'all just making stuff up in the comments. Y'all making stuff up. Why he gotta shave his beard to join Imperium? What are y'all talking about? Y'all just saying stuff. Well, this is sick. Y'all just want the worst for us. That's all it is. Because why he gotta shave his beard?
Great at all. We're gonna lose him on Tuesday. He can't have his beard now.
Giovanni has a full come on now. And y'all talking about he got shaved hairs? Like, come on now. What's going on here? No, y'all, that's nasty work going on in the chat right now.
Not you tell me to leave the memories alone. See, I don't appreciate this. There's a lot of negativity today. Like, how can I? He has showed up and showed out in NXT. I feel like he's gonna be the background. Now he's gonna play second. I don't like that. I don't like those vibes. That's just rude. You know, it's fine. It's fine.
Why would you? Oh my God! Why do y'all want him to shave so bad? What is going on here? Y'all like anti-hair?
What did the beard do to y'all? Because I just feel a lot of animosity. The beard did nothing to be great. That's what it gave. Yeah. So I don't like this negativity in the comments. I don't like it. Like, it's making me really sad. You know.
Take it back. I really am. Like, I don't know what's going on here. But that is NXT. Great first night of spring breaking. It's the first spring breaking without Broad Breaker. It doesn't feel right without the break in there. But we did it. We got through it. Some really fun matches. If I had to list in order, so I'm going to start doing this now at the end of the show. Triple Threat, Dragunov Trick, the Beach Brawl. That is my top three. What is your top three?
I will switch the Beach Brawl in Trick and Ilja only because Ilja lost, and I just I can't do that. And so I have to move it down to Had. How dare you? A distraction to who? Negativity? He has brightened up my days with his beard. My day was bright. It was bright. 2 sunglasses, bright. My days are bright. But yeah, I would just switch those two just because he lost, and it's just me being a little bitter at the moment. But otherwise, those were my top three matches of the night as well. Again, I thought they had a lot of hits for night one, and so hopefully night two, the same old stuff. See, same vibes.
I feel like we all are giving the top three. Like, those definitely are the top matches for sure. Yeah. So that is the Meta-Two AfterShow. Did I do it the right way? Is this way? Okay. Let us know where we can find you, what you got coming up, girl.
Most recently coming up, just if you're in the Bronx, if you're in New York, I will be doing some backstage correspondence, my first in a little bit. And it's gonna be there's gonna be some Spanish on Spanish, Latino versus Latino stuff happening apparently. Well, types of races from what I was seeing from the chat. So that should be fun. And so I'm looking forward to that. But just follow me on social media and Cat We Trust, E3 everywhere, but YouTube and Facebook, and just keep tune out for the channel for anything new coming up. It has been a few weeks, it's been a little hectic, but I promise stuff is coming, and I do want to do more streaming because I have been on my Dead by Daylight kick finally properly. And so, you guys can probably hear me cursing a lot at randoms if I'm not playing with like Shay or something. I'm going to probably be cursing at randoms because they are the bane of my existence online apparently. But yeah, that's basically it. Just follow my channels. Keep up that way.
And you can find me right back here next Tuesday talking about someone's beard. But you can also catch me on my Twitch, Shay Sawyer. I just got the design today, so we will be back and running with the streams very soon once I set up the profile and everything. And then you can also catch a new episode that just dropped yesterday for the Big Pop Theory podcast with me and the bad guy. Some of you know him. It was absolute chaos, but in the best way possible. So definitely give episode 64 a listen. And yeah, you can find me at Shay Sawyer _ on Twitter if you want to talk about anything. Okay, not everything, but you know, our like-minded interests. Okay, so guys, we're gonna wrap up.
This is so rude. That is so rude. Like, that wasn't even necessary. Like,
why are you saying these things?
My kids have been telling me whoa for a very long time now. Okay, every time we didn't spell Cody like 3 times in the last week, and I'm like, Mom, look who it is, and I'm like, and this is how kids get adopted. Okay, this is exactly how. But yeah, it's fine, guys. It's negativity again. Negativity.
I did yell a lot. It was justified yelling though. But and also if you guys want, if you want to support us at all, you know, the slam chats, you know, definitely, like, you know, always let us know. But this is the end, and I want to say thank you to every person that came in here. We appreciate you so freaking much, and we'll see you next week Tuesday. So I'm gonna do a random pose while we wait for it to end. Okay. Hold on.